I'm going to defend Raheem Moore. He was actually a really good player.
Yeah, tell you what. And you had one job!
He had one bad play.
One job!
He had one bad play.
Mike, it's Super Bowl week, and we would behoove ourselves to talk about what is your ultimate Super Bowl letdown. Tell me a moment, whether it's your franchise or any other franchise, what is the ultimate Super Bowl letdown of, in your opinion?
Do you want me to give my personal answer to this one? Because I worked for a team that was in a Super Bowl, I think. Here, Dirk, this hat says Conference Champion. This is not the hat that I wanted, and nor did
These are not
anyone.
the hats you were looking for.
And perhaps this would not be the hat that we had if the Broncos had executed the first snap of the game instead of snapping it over Peyton Manning's head into the end zone.
But that's the best part of the Super Bowl. I just remember watching that. I was like, as soon as that ball went over Peyton Manning's head, it was over. It was done. Like, there was no coming back from that.
No, there was no good part of that game. I was there in person. It was terrible.
Oh.
It was the most depressing day and night ever. Everyone was so excited. So for those who are not aware, I worked with the team media staff of the Denver Broncos in 2013-14, and that team had a magical run and a phenomenal offense. What people forget, and I will give Seattle credit, the defense was incredible. They played a much better game. Denver, however, was down like 6 defensive starters by the Super Bowl. So if the game had gotten into a defensive slugfest, had we had Von Miller, Chris Harris Jr., a healthy Champ Bailey, Raheem Moore was gone, Kevin Vickerson. We were missing like 6.
Wait, are we talking about the Raheem Moore that let the whole
This was the next
Flacco,
year. Yeah, this was the next year.
Don't bring it up.
I'm gonna defend Raheem Moore. He was actually a really good player.
Yeah, tell you what. And you had one job.
He had one bad play.
One job.
He had one bad play. The following season, people don't know this. The following year, he almost had to have his leg amputated, which was crazy.
Okay, well, we were having fun, and then you had to do that.
He did. He had a season-ending. He had lateral compartin syndrome after a game, and it almost had to cut his leg off. So Raheem Moore, I have huge respect for the guy. In any case, the Broncos that year, that Super Bowl, was the biggest letdown imaginable. 43-8. It's not even the worst Broncos Super Bowl loss by score somehow. But it was the worst one I have ever experienced, and I don't think I will ever be able to top that one. Dirk, what do you have?
There's a couple that just come to mind, and even in just the last few years. Like, let's just talk about Seattle Seahawks. How they lost to the Patriots, and you have Marshawn Lynch, and you're just like, how did we not run the ball? How did we not run the ball? We threw the ball with on the 1 yard line. How did we not run the ball? You have that one, or like even going back to like some of our childhood memories of Rams and the Tennessee Titans and the famed inch
1 yard
too far,
away.
right? Like
yeah,
1 inch too
away.
far. Yeah, and those are some of the classic letdowns. However,
I'm just going to touch base on that Seattle New England Super Bowl for a second. People do not realize how that one play changed the course of NFL history. If Seattle possibly runs the ball and Marshawn scores, Tom Brady at that point has lost 3 Super Bowls in a row and has a record of 2-3 in the Super Bowl, or 3-3 in the Super Bowl, I should say. He started out 3-0, then he lost the 2 to the Giants. That would have been his 3rd consecutive loss. Meanwhile, Seattle would have won 2 Super Bowls in a row and maybe primed to be a dynasty. So on one play, it's possible you never see the rise of the New England Patriots the second time around if Seattle scores that touchdown. It's crazy.
I mean, that, and then what about just like the ultimate Super Bowl letdown if you're a Patriots fan and somehow this man catches a ball off of his helmet?
David Tyree.
And you're just, there's just great moments over the Super Bowl era. I mean, this is, as much as the Super Bowl is really not a fun game to watch because of how many timeouts there is. And it's just, it's over the course of like 4.5 hours. It's not a good format. Let's just say for a championship game, it's not a good format.
Yeah.
But there are some classic moments. And some of those letdowns are just comical. I'm going to go ahead and just say the best game had to be, or the best letdown has to be, you are a new expansion franchise. You're so young in your era, and all of a sudden, you lose by a yard. It was like it was scripted, but
yeah, it was also, people sometimes forget the play that preceded that. Steve McNair was dead to rights. He's scrambling for his life. 3 guys are about to tackle him. He spins out of a tackle like impossibly and flings the ball downfield somehow to a receiver just to get them into that position. One of the greatest plays I've ever seen. No one remembers it because they lost the game.